Hi there. Today we're talking all about the 6 stages of business growth and 3 important reasons why you absolutely need to know which phase of business growth you're in. And this is something that I wish someone had explained to me back when I was starting my business back in 2011, is that there are different phases of business growth, and there are different things that you need to be focusing on in each phase in order to get to the next level. So for more details about this and for a full description, there's a link that goes with this video where you can access my full blog article, and in that blog article there is a link to my free ebook which takes you through each step of the process of each phase of growth and what you should be focusing on in each phase in order to get to profit most quickly. So the reason I put together this graphic that is in the article I'm talking about is because it shows how it's not a linear process to get to profit and scalability. So when we all start out with a great business idea or concept, we have this idea that if we just work really hard, we'll get off the ground quickly and we'll start making money quickly. That depends on where you are in the business growth cycle. So there are six phases. The first one is validate. So if you have a business idea or product, you need to get out and validate that that idea is needed in the market, that there is a market for that product or service, because that's the number one reason most businesses fail, is that there's nobody who wants to buy that thing that you're offering. So validate is an essential and critical first step of the process. Then you go down into I've got my diagram showing positive dollars above the line and negative dollars below the line. So when you're first starting out in business, you have to go through a period of investment in which you're investing money into the business in order to grow. So the second phase goes down into negative dollars. That's where you launch your business. So that's where you come up with your branding, your marketing strategy, your clear idea about who you are, who you serve, and the transformation that you help your clients with. In that launch phase, there are a lot of investments. You've got to get a website, you have to get your branding set up, you have to get your systems and processes in place, and you possibly have to buy inventory or anything that you need to get your business up and running. Then you go up through the build phase. And the build phase is a period of hustle and hard work where it can be really disheartening because it feels like you're putting so much time and energy in for little return. You know, the dollars aren't coming in consistently enough yet. So this is a really tough, uncomfortable phase to sit in. And that's where with business coaching, we provide a lot of support to get through this phase and just help you to continue focusing on the right things so that you get to profit faster. And then finally you hit in phase 4, breakthrough. And that's where you're finally earning as much as you're putting into the business. And that's a big pop the champagne kind of time, because even though you're not in profit yet, you've hit that milestone of finally achieving breakthrough. And that's a big thing to achieve. Now that process to get from validation through to break even can take anywhere from 12 months to 3 years, depending on where you're at and where you start out, how big your network is, how big your existing client base, etc. So if you're really starting from scratch, it can take up to 3 years. And then finally, after breakthrough, you go into phase 5, which is profit, which is where life really gets exciting. And then if you've been hanging out in profit for a while, you might want to scale and grow and eventually get your business to the point where you can sell it off, which means you've earned the title of entrepreneur, because the definition of an entrepreneur is someone who has a business that can then be sold onwards, and you're constantly looking at growth and scalability. So there are 3 really critical reasons why you need to know which phase of the business growth cycle you're in. Number 1 is obviously that you can focus your precious time and energy on the right things at the right time. So if you're in the validate phase, there's no point in doing things that are in phase 3 when you're still in phase 1. Likewise, when you're in the build and hustle phase, there's no point in doing things that are required in the profit phase, if you're still in build phase. So it really helps you focus your time and energy on the right things. The second important reason is that it helps you manage your cash flow and your expectations. This is a really big one. So I get a lot of clients coming to me who have grand expectations of hitting $100,000 profit in 12 months. And when you understand these 6 phases of growth, you'll realize that that is in most cases unlikely, and it helps you manage your expectations as well as your cash flow. And as we know, a large reason why businesses go under is because they run out of positive cash flow. They run out of cash. So when you understand the different phases, you will know what to invest your money in, more importantly, what not to invest your money in. And you'll be able to manage that a lot more intentionally and consciously and avoid getting into problems. So that's the second critical reason. Number 3, also really important why you need to know which phase of business growth you're in, is because you can get greater levels of peace and acceptance of where you are in the process and enjoyment. You'll actually settle in and start enjoying the process of building your own business. This one's really important because I find with a lot of, particularly women starting out in business, they get really disheartened if they feel like they haven't made progress fast enough, or they feel disappointed that they thought they'd be further along than they are, even though they've been working so hard. And when you can understand where you are in that growth continuum, then you can just settle in and enjoy the process and know that you are making progress, even if it's not resulting in dollars yet. It will, because you're on the journey, and you'll see in the graphic that eventually you have no choice but to hit profit if you just keep following focusing your attention on the right things. So greater peace, acceptance, and enjoyment is what it's all about, and that's why it's so critical to know the 6 phases of growth and what to do in each separate phase. So as I said, grab your copy of the free ebook, which is in the link. And I hope this has helped you on your journey. And if you have any questions, please reach out. I'd be very happy to help. Thank you. Bye for now.